All right. Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday to everyone. It's hard to believe we are in the last Monday of July for 2024. It's a year that is really, at least for me, seems like it's just moving at a hyper speed, as most years these days seem to be doing. So again, here it is. We're closing out another month and soon to be moving into a new season, with the fall and the winter coming. And it kind of led me when I was having a discussion with my wife over the weekend and thinking about what this conversation was going to look like. Today, I really thought about, where I was at in regards to my goals and in past years of being at a certain point of, the success that I wanted to see and being at a certain point in life and realizing that, say, 10 years ago, and the way that I went about approaching my goals and the way that I go about doing those things now has changed drastically. And the difference has been a much more effective plan, and things have been put into place where those goals are easier to reach and success is easier to come by now. And so it kind of got me to thinking, again, the person that I was 10 years ago versus the person that I've grown into. And as I continue to develop, the person that I will develop to be in, say, the next 10 years. And it really kind of got me to thinking about the disruptors that we have to success. One of the things I can certainly say without a doubt, everyone that's on here has a desire to be successful, and you have a desire to be successful in many different things that you're doing in life. And, whether it's with your health, whether it's your eating habits, whether, it's your business or your job or whatever the case may be, your relationships, we're always looking to be successful in certain things. And we sometimes see that maybe it seems like it comes easier for some than others. And it starts to make us question our own ability to achieve success. And I can tell you, 10 years ago or so, I was that person that was questioning, is success meant for me? And then when I learned to understand that success is meant for everyone, really it's almost more of, it's not success, but it's results. And we get the results based off of the behavior and the activity that we create in our lives. And that behavior and activity is created by a mindset. And that mindset is rooted to a belief. And when you have an unwavering belief about something, it's going to, and it's, as long as it's a positive belief, when you have an unwavering belief about your own success and the things that it's going to take to be able to get there, you're going to ultimately achieve those results that, in essence, like I said, are the success. So I wanted to touch on I'm just going to touch on three today, three of what I consider to be the biggest disruptors in our journey towards success. And there are many more than just these three, but for me personally, and some people, you may have others that may be bigger than these three, but personally, these were the ones that once I mastered these areas in my life, I saw a true difference in regards to my own success. So let's jump into the first one. The first one, we're all familiar with it. I always say the biggest nation in the world is procrastination. And the reason I say that is because we all, at some level, do it. Even highly successful people procrastinate. It's really just having an understanding of it and recognizing it when it's happening and being able to switch it around and move things in a positive direction from procrastination. And, I remember hearing people talk about procrastination and people that are procrastinators. And, when you hear that word or you call someone a procrastinator, it's usually believed to be someone that's lazy, someone that doesn't want to do anything. And that really could be further from the truth. Procrastinators is not about, being lazy. It's not about not necessarily wanting to do something. It comes down to a few different things. One of them is fear of failure, that plays a big part in the procrastination piece, because if there is, that goes back to that belief part that I was talking about, and having unwavering belief. Because if you're giving thought to whatever this thing is that you have to do, the task that is going to help achieve success, but there's a doubt and there's fear of failure around it, that fear will paralyze you and you won't do anything. So in essence, you'll find other things to do other than the thing that you're supposed to be doing, in that moment. Another area of procrastination is a lack of motivation. And this one, honestly, I think in many instances, for me personally, at least, was the big area of, having this task, knowing that I have to do this task, I have to achieve this goal to get to the ultimate goal of whatever it is that I'm trying to do. But there was a lack of motivation around it. And what I had to do for me personally is I had to gamify it. I had to do it in a place. I'm competitive. I'm competitive with myself. I can be competitive with others. I like playing games. I like the competition, friendly competition of just anything. And so when I gamified it and I'm competing with myself, it helped me it was a motivating factor for me. And then also being able to reward myself. I'm going to talk about rewarding yourself throughout this process, because I think that that's one of the areas that we often miss is recognizing when we achieve something, is to recognize, okay, man, I came from here to here, and give yourself a reward on that. I can tell you, I had a closing that was a bit of a challenge last week. And it was 3 years in the making, and we finally closed it. Now that we weren't under contract for 3 years, but I was working with these clients for a long time, and I rewarded myself. I went to the Coach store at the outlets up north of Denver, and rewarded myself with a backpack and shoes and all the things. And I told myself, I'm not going to do that until this closes. So again, it's one of those things of being able to reward yourself from the lack of motivation piece. And how I learned that piece, to avoid procrastination. Many years ago, I heard one of my mentors that I follow on YouTube, Eric Thomas. He talked about procrastination, and he kind of equated it to, if I told you to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and we're going to do a 5-mile run, if that is not something that motivates you, if it's not, a place that you're in a space of, being healthy or getting better from a run standpoint or whatever the case may be, there's going to be a lack of motivation. And even if you're saying, I'm going to live a healthier lifestyle and I want to get fit and I want to start running and I want to do the things. When 4 o'clock in the morning rolls around, there's still going to be some questions, and you may or may not get up. But if I pose to you, hey, at 4 o'clock in the morning on this particular day, if you're at this location and you run 5 miles, at the end of that 5 miles, there's $1 million check waiting for you. Oh, you're motivated now. All right. See, there's something that's been put in place to motivate you to be able to go after this thing that you didn't necessarily want to do. You know that it needs to be done to be able to move towards your goal, but you didn't really, when the time comes at 4 o'clock in the morning hits, you're not really motivated. Well, you got a motivating piece now. And so, like I said, that's what I started implementing for myself is dangling the carrot in front of myself in regards to, okay, when this happens, this is the reward. And this has worked, very, very well for me. And not every time is it something, like a shopping spree or something like that. It could be something very simple, but it's something strong enough to create a motivation in me to keep my eye on the prize, so to speak, of what it is that I'm trying to accomplish. And then the third aspect of this procrastination piece that plays a big role is feeling overwhelmed. I can tell you, this has been one of those when, and especially when you're in this business of real estate, everyone wants to be a top producer. Everyone wants to have, their best-selling years, year after year after year, and see your business continue to grow. And I can tell you, when I was there, I've been in real estate since 2001. I was part-time because I had a job, I had other businesses. Until 2017, I went full-time. And the goal in 2017 was to become a top producing agent. And I had my best year ever because I went all in. But I also experienced being overwhelmed because wait a minute, I have never done this much business. I wanted that much business, but then when it came, it was like, whoa, how do I handle this? And that can cause a paralysis. That can cause you to freeze as well when you get into that moment. Again, we all want success, but at the same time, when we're experiencing it and not prepared for what comes with it, it can cause a feeling of this is too much, and you'll retreat to a certain degree. Fortunately for me, I had leaders in mentors that I was working with that said, well, this is what it's going to look like. When you're doing 1 or 2 deals, yeah, you got that handled. But when you got 8 to 10 going on at the same time, this is what it's going to look like. This is what you need to put in place. These are some of the people that you need to hire to work for you and work with you. And that's what I did. I put a TC. I never wanted to have a TC, and now, 7 years later, I would never do real estate without a TC. I've had the exact same TC for the last 7 years. And I told her she can never leave this industry until I do, because she just knows me, and she is like really my right arm. I'm right-handed, and she is my right arm in my real estate business. So, putting those things in place to kind of cover the feeling overwhelmed. So let's talk about overcoming the procrastination piece. We got 2 more to get through, so I'm gonna have to hustle here. Setting clear goals for yourself, and breaking them into smaller goals, I think is a very important piece. And this is what I'm saying in regards to celebrating the small victories. So like if the ultimate goal is in your first, third, fifth year, whatever it is in real estate, you want to do $10 million in sales for the year. Well, then break it out into the quarters. So if you're looking to do 10 million, you know that you need to do roughly about 2.5 million per quarter. We'll break that out into months, in regards to how much that you're going to need to do. So you're a little under $1 million per month. So, you may be looking at 1 or 2 properties on a monthly basis that you need to be able to sell. And then, there's putting the game plan in place. So when you think about it, when I say $10 million in sales, and if you've never done 10 million, it sounds overwhelming. But when we break it down to its purest form of what it looks like on a monthly basis, we're talking 1 to 2 deals per month in this Denver market. That's probably 1 to 2 deals per month that you're closing. It sounds a lot easier and once we put a game plan together to be able to help you to get to that point. So setting those clear goals, prioritizing the task. One of the things that I like, and let's see if I can share my screen here. One of the things that I like to to use is the Eisenhower matrix. See if I can pull that up here. If I can't, we will. What I'll do is, okay, I can't find it right now, but basically it breaks down, the Eisenhower matrix breaks down into 4 quadrants of, what's urgent and what's less urgent. And your first quadrant that you have is the do first. It's the things that you should, are the priority on the top of the priority list. The second box over next to it is going to be the schedule. It's the things that are very important, but not as important as the do first, but they need to be scheduled. They need to be on your calendar to get those things done. And then you're going to go underneath. The next box is to delegate. Those things that can be delegated to someone else to be able to take care of them. They're less important, don't necessarily require your time. That was a perfect example of where a TC came in. And, doing the contracts and doing all the different things, scheduling, closings, and all the things that someone else could do. It didn't necessarily need my time. So delegating. And then the last box is the don't do box. It's the box that says, when you're working, cut out social media. You shouldn't have your TV on while you're trying to work as well. Remove all the distractions. So using that Eisenhower method has been very much something that has helped me to kind of stay on task as to what's important. Okay, we're going to get into the second one here. This is lack of discipline. This one for me, and I think this one was so big because of the fact that I think each and every one of us, when it comes down to looking at what we've done to be successful or what we haven't done, it comes down to our discipline. And, for many years, I've always had a word for the year. And I think it was 2019, I made my word for the year discipline. And it wasn't to be disciplined in my eating habits. It wasn't to be disciplined in the growth of my business. It wasn't to be disciplined in my relationship. It was to be disciplined in everything. And I'm telling you, that was the hardest challenge that I ever had in regards to picking a word and living that word. Because to be disciplined in every aspect of your life, it really makes you have to sit and think and take account for your shortcomings in different areas and then figure out, okay, how do I get better here without sacrificing necessarily over here? So, but the bottom line is when we're talking about success and growth in your business, and it takes that discipline piece. So one of those, the big aspects of that is understanding that, you're coming across different challenges and instead of avoiding those challenges or not facing the different tasks that are coming at you at that time, is being able to, work your way through each one of those challenges. Richard Branson has once said, entrepreneurs who lack discipline may fail to follow through with business plans, resulting in unsuccessful ventures. And that's the plan. That piece for me, I want you to think about for your business right now. Do you have a business plan? And if you do, are you following it? Are you looking at that business plan on a weekly basis or even on a daily basis to ensure that you're following the steps in regards to that business plan? And it's a key instrumental piece for your business. And this is an area that I work with agents all the time in regards to making sure that whatever the goal is, that we've set up a business plan that fits to help you to achieve the steps that you're looking to create for yourself. So overcoming the lack of discipline is a big part of it is establishing daily routines that incorporate, healthy and productive habits for yourself. So this was one of those things, again, you've heard of the 21-day habit. You do something for 21 days straight, it becomes a routine, it becomes a habit, it becomes natural of what you do. If any of you have been in my trainings, you heard me talk about the things that you do for success, the habits that you create for yourself. It should be like brushing your teeth in the morning. See, I guarantee you, each and every one of you this morning, before you got on this call, even though we're on Zoom, we're not even face to face, you brushed your teeth. And why is that? Because it's a habit. It's one of the first things that we do when we get up in the morning. It's the very first task. In most cases, it's the very first task that we have accomplished for the day. So I want you to think about, so just to kind of give you an example, my wife and I right now, every morning, brush our teeth, and then we walk. We do a 1 mile walk, because what we've learned, and this is usually at about, I get up at 5 in the morning. We're walking anywhere from 6 to 6:30. We get our 1 mile walk in. We come back, we grab our dogs, and then we take them on a 1/2 mile walk. So we get a 1.5 miles in. And when we do our walk, it's a pretty brisk pace that we're moving at. We're right about 15 minutes for this 1 mile on the walk. So, but the part of it is because when we're done, there's a sense of accomplishment. We've got something done from a physical exertion standpoint. And I shouldn't say, it's not like we overly exerted or anything like that, but we've moved, first thing in the morning. And then we still work out at some point throughout the course of the day. But at the very least, we've got that. And there's a feeling, there's a sense of accomplishment of just getting something done first thing in the morning. We started this at the beginning of July. Guess what? What are we at? The 29th? It's a habit. It feels weird not to do it now. It's just like, again, you woke up and you got dressed and you headed outside and you didn't brush your teeth. It would feel weird. You would constantly be thinking about, man, I cannot believe I left it and I didn't brush my teeth. That's what you want to do in regards to, creating the habit, and it starts with discipline. You have to have the discipline to do it long enough to turn it into a habit. There's a few others on that area, but I wanted to, make sure we get to the third one. One of the other aspects of discipline, though, is staying accountable. And this is where an accountability partner is good to have, someone to put in place. Some of you have done the greatness tracker training that I've done, and we have, it's an accountability group. And we'll be doing that after probably right at the end of the summer. We'll get that started again. And I can tell you, there's people on here right now that are having their best year ever in real estate, and they have been a part of that group. And it's truly something that just holds you accountable. We do it for 12 weeks. It creates a habit and a routine that once we're done with that 12 weeks, those people are still doing those same tasks because it's become a part of their daily activity. All right, so that's discipline. Let's go into the last one here, and it's a lack of a clear vision. This can be a huge disruptor when you don't have a vision of what it is that you're looking to achieve for yourself. I want you to think about this for a second. If you have a car and you have a goal, you have a destination that you're trying to get to, whether it's on the other side of town or whether it's on the other side of the country, when you get in that car and you're prepared to leave, you're looking out of the windshield. If you have a windshield that is filled with mud and dirt and the visibility is not all that great, you can't really see out of the car. I don't care if you're just going around the block or down the street or all the way across the country, your ability to get there is going to be hindered because you don't have clear vision to be able to see where it is that you're trying to go. It's the same thing with our business. It's the same thing with our relationships. It's the same thing with any goal that you set. If there's not a clear vision of where it is that you're trying to go, and it's cloudy and it's disrupted by other things, it's going to create a challenge for you to be able to make it to the destination. So when you have that clear windshield, you have that clear vision of what it is that you're trying to do, it becomes much easier for you to be able to get to the destination, get there faster, and get there probably at a more direct route without hitting some trash cans along the way and potholes and all the things, that happen in your business on a daily basis. So, and first and foremost is defining your vision, knowing what the goal is. One of the biggest things I think is in many cases, people don't set goals. And then you're not revisiting those goals on a daily basis. If you've been in any of my trainings, you know that I look at goals on a daily basis of what it is that I'm trying to achieve. I can tell you right now, because I have pretty lofty goals, and I'm one of these people that I got my hands in quite a few different things. That is a part of my distraction, but at the same time, I'm achieving small things in a lot of different areas. But I know that if I had tunnel vision on maybe one or two, I would be much further along in those certain things. And that's something that I have to work on for me. So I'm still a work in progress. Even though, there's areas that I've had success, there's areas that I'm finding new success in, but I also know that because there's so many different areas that I'm tapping into, if I dialed it in, the success in those main areas would be much faster. So again, defining your vision and knowing exactly what it is that you want to do. Create a vision board. Many of you have heard, about, creating a vision board. I used to have a vision board. Now I create a vision environment, and I'm in that environment. When I come into my office, I see those words behind me every day, each and every one of them. I picked each and every one of those words that went on that wall. You can't really see it on the side, but on the side are the people, my mentors, I like to say, Muhammad Ali, Steve Jobs, Mark Twain, people that, are no longer here, but I know their story, and there's certain quotes that they have said, and those quotes are what are on the wall. And so I look at that, I see that on a daily basis. And I spend, roughly, if I'm at home, I'm in this office, from probably 7 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And so creating that environment, some people, I've kind of got away from the material vision board, I used to have this where, you have the cruise ship, or you have Dubai. I used to have Dubai on my vision board. Cars, things of that nature, college funds, all the things that were important to me. And this was, 7, 8 years ago. And I can tell you that many of those things have been achieved. And what happened for me is things kind of switched from more of these material things to more of purpose. And so that's why the words now are what resonate more so with me than material things. Because I still, again, having the cruise ship and Dubai, and that was travel. And those of you that know me know that I travel a lot, and I always will. It's become a part of the habit, the routine. The college fund that, I had a son that was going to be going to college, and he's going into his last year right now. So that one, has been removed because it's been accomplished and achieved. And again, like I said, I got to a point where there's just something bigger for me than thinking about necessarily the material items. And it's more of the purpose of why I'm here and what it is that I'm supposed to do. But I would definitely say the workspace that you are in, create a vision board that you are constantly seeing. And whether it's the material things, if that's the thing that motivates you and drives you, then utilize that for yourself to grow your business. I'm going to hit one more on the clear vision, and that's regularly review and adjust. That's when I'm just talking about in regards to my vision board and how it was material items before. And now it's turned into more of affirmations. It's turned into quotes. It's turned into words. That was me adjusting, because the key for me was when the things that were on my vision board were accomplished, they didn't need to be there anymore. It's already been done. So I had to make adjustments. And then when I saw for myself that, okay, the material things are not motivating me anymore, then I needed to get things that would, and that's where the purpose came in. And you have to periodically just revisit those things and make sure that it's keeping you at a level of high inspiration and keeping you in a place of continuing to drive. All right, so those are the three. Like I said, there's many different areas of distraction, but those are the three for me that were just important to be able to share. Hopefully, you got something out of that that was helpful to you. Again, it's Monday. We got a whole week ahead of us to do some amazing things, and I hope that this gets you off to the right track for the rest of your week. Thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our EXP organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about EXP or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.